Good morning, second graders. Today we are on page 259 of your student journal, page 259. And our objective or our goal for today is I will add sums by rounding. Okay, so we're still adding today, but our new strategy is we're going to round. Now when we round, we're not going to get an exact answer though. We're going to get an estimation or what we call an about answer. Okay, let's look at our vocabulary. Our first word reminds us what rounding is. It says to replace a number that tells about how many. So that's it. When you round, you have an about number, a number that's close to it. Okay, so I might even write the word close. When I round, I get a close to number. So here's an example. It says round 547 to the nearest 10. Now, when we round today, we're going to not be rounding to the nearest number. We're going to always be rounding to the greatest place value. So this is their example, but I'm going to show you a better one. Okay, and then it says estimation means a good, close, and reasonable guess, often based on rounding. Okay, so here's an example. We see that 124 plus 158. So we don't know the exact answer, but we know 124 is close to 100, and 158 is close to 200. So our answer is going to be around 300. So if I really added these, my sum should be close to 300. Okay, so our steps today say we're going to first round each add-in to the greatest place. So as I said over here, they rounded to the nearest 10. We're going to always round to the greatest place value. And then we're going to find the sum. Now, again, our answer is not going to be the real sum. It's going to be an about sum. Okay, so I'm going to get started and show you what this looks like. Here is my first problem, boys and girls. It says 28 plus 46. 28 plus 46. Okay, so my first add-in is 28. Now I'm going to put my place values on top that we have been. So it's the ones, tens, and ones and tens. So my greatest place value is the tens for 28. So I'm going to round. And 20, my tens is a 2 in the tens means it's 20. So I'm going to put that on my number line. And if I'm in the tens column, 10 more than 20 is 30. And my midpoint between 20 and 30 is 25. So that's how I'm going to set up my rounding number line. 20, midpoint 25, and 30. Then I'm going to find my actual add-in on my number line. So my add-in is 28. Where would 28 be on this number line? It's not going to be before 25, it's more than 25. I think 28's going to be about here. So I have to ask myself, is 28 closer to 20 or closer to 30? Which one is it closer to? It's closer to 30. So when I write 28, 28 is going to round to 30. So 28 is going to round to 30. Okay, my second add-in is 46. What is 46 going to round to? Well, I'm going to draw my number line. And when I look at 46, my greatest place value is the tens, and that's a 4. So I'm going to say 40. And what's 10 more than 40 is 50. So that's how I write my number line. So 40 and then 10 more because I'm in the tens column is 50. And my midpoint, what's right in the middle of 40 and 50 is 45. So now my number line is set up. I have to put my add-in on it. So my add-in is 46. So where would 46 go on this number line? I think 46 is just after 45. So I'm going to say it's right there. So is 46 closer to this end of the number line or this end of the number line? Well, it's on this half, so it's going to be closer to 50. So if I round 46, I get 50. So what is 30 plus 50? 30 plus 50 is 80. So my about sum or my rounded sum or even my estimated sum would be 80. Okay, let's look at another one of these, boys and girls. I have 114 plus 58 are my two add-ins. So I'm going to do my place values. Ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens. Okay, and my first one is 114. So I'm going to actually, let me set up my equation. I'm going to set it up this way. Okay, 114 is going to be a little different because I have a hundreds column. So my greatest place value is the hundreds. So I'm going to do 100. And I'm in the hundreds column, so what's 100 more would be 200. And then what's my midpoint? What's right in the middle of 100 and 200? 150. Where would 114 go? Wouldn't it be over here? Isn't it less than 150? I'm thinking 114 is going to maybe be around there. So because 114 is on this side of the number line, it's going to round to 100. Look how far away from 200 it is. So 114 rounds to 100. What does 58 round to? I'm going to do it down here so I don't run out of room. Well, 58, my greatest place value is the tens. So I'm going to say 50. And what's 10 more than 50? 60. And what's my midpoint? 55. Where would 58 go on my number line then? Wouldn't 58 go right about here? So see how it's on that side of the number line? That means that 58 rounds to 60. Oh, I'm sorry, friends. I messed up. I meant to put 60, not 58. So what is 100 plus 60? 160. So my about sum or my approximate sum or my estimated sum would be 160. Okay, let's try some of these together. We are on page 260. We are on page 260. Okay, and our first add-in is 53. Let's do ones, tens. Our second add-in is 18. Let's do ones, tens. And let's actually write our equation vertically. Okay, so we're going to do our first number line so we can round 53. So 53's greatest place value is the tens. So we're going to say 5 tens is 50. And then what's one more 10 than that? 60, because we're counting by tens because we're in the tens place value. What's the midpoint? What's between 50 and 60? 55. And where would our add-in 53 go on this number line? Isn't 53 going to go over there, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so I want you to ask yourselves, what is it closer to? What is it closer to? Is it closer to the 50 or is it closer to the 60? Which one is it closer to? I think that it's closer to the 50. It's very close to the 50 and very far from the 60. So I'm going to round it to the 50. So 53 becomes 50. Okay, let's look at our next add-in, which is 18. Our greatest place value is tens, and we have 1 10, which means we're going to say 10. Okay, and since we're in the tens column, what's one more 10 going to be? One more 10 is going to be 20. And our midpoint is 15. And where does 18 go? Isn't 18 more than 15? So 18 is going to go on this side. Okay, so look at where we put our add-in 18 and ask yourself what you're going to round to then. Are you going to round 18 to 10? Or are you going to round 18 to 20? What are you going to round it to? Okay, hopefully, boys and girls, you said we're going to round to 20. So when I round that, I get 50 plus 20 is 70. So our about sum, or our approximated sum, or our estimated sum would be 70. Okay, let's look at our next problem. Our next problem now we have hundreds place values. So let's first write our place values on top. And we have ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds. And we have 132 plus 437. Okay, so, oh, I apologize, friends. I'm going to give you a second to catch up since Miss Munoz didn't move up her paper. Okay, boys and girls, hopefully that gave you time to catch up, and we are ready to go. Okay, so we have on our place value, on our number line, our first one, we have 100. That's our greatest place value, 100. And what's one more 100? 200. And then what's our midpoint? What's right in the middle of 100 and 200? 150. Okay, where does our add-in fit on this number line? Doesn't our add-in fit, isn't it 132 is smaller than 150? So it'd be on this side. So if I'm rounding, since it's on that side, we're going to round it to 100. So 132 is about 100. Okay, let's do our next rounding. Our next addend is 400 is its greatest place value. So let's put a 400. And what's just one more 100 since we're in the hundreds place value? One more 100 is 500. And what's our midpoint? 450. Okay, and where does 437 fit on our number line? Isn't 437 smaller than 450? So would we put it over here? 437. My marker's getting chubby, so it's hard to write with. So since it's on this side of the midpoint, we're going to round to 400. So 100 plus 400 is 500. So our estimated answer, or our estimated sum, is 500. Okay, boys and girls, you're going to keep practicing these on your own. Have a great day.